Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a structural blueprint of the Quran that is, frankly, mind-bending. We're not just treating the text as some static historical document, but as an active, living, cosmic machine. If you've ever sensed a deeper mechanical architecture holding all these verses together, you are going to absolutely love this breakdown of what we call the dual caustic universe. Let's get into it.
Our source material grounds this entire framework in chapter 39, verse 23, Ahsan al-Hadith, the best, most consistent, self-referencing pattern in existence. The idea here is that the book is actually the eternal memory of the Rasul. It's a closed tesseract that is actively reading you, the observer, right back, mapping out an interactive field of pure knowledge. So think of today's analysis as your cosmic engine manual. We're going to quickly walk through 6 parts: the eternal memory, the breathing engine, the fractal clock, the ascension circuit, the closed loop, and finally becoming the book.
Okay, section 1, the eternal memory. Let's lay out the raw blueprint of existence. It all starts with a single foundational event, the offering of the Amanat mentioned in 3372. This is the ultimate cosmic trust, a massive structural energy. It was offered to the heavens and the earth, but they flat out refused it. They were too rigid to handle it. So it was carried entirely by Al-Insān, the human, acting as the only node with the lineage-bearing capacity to take it on. And this massive weight creates the core physics of our engine. It gives us a dual caustic universe built on 2 completely distinct fields that never actually touch. On one side, you have the D10 field. This is the deterministic world of physical action, particles, the Arish or throne. On the other side is the I9 field, the indeterministic wave of pure witnessing, the Kursi. Reality itself is sparked right in the tension between these two. Moving to section 2, the breathing engine and its 4-stroke cycle.
This is where it gets incredibly mechanical. The scripture maps out a massive 4-stroke cycle designed to finally deliver that Amanat home. Think of it as 4 cosmic breaths. Breath 1 is the intake. It draws in the buried evils from 81.8, the questioned souls, the slurry of arrogance, the inverted pride. The timer, or Mīqāt, ticks while the book remains sealed. Then breath 2 hits, compression. This breath literally squeezes out shame. Just like Qabil learning burial from the crow in 531, or Mūsā being raised alive on the mountain in 743, the compression squeezes all that shame into sheer resurrection pressure.
Then we get the 3rd breath, combustion. This is where it ignites. It filters out the bad from the good, establishing the minimum viable believer. This combustion fires up a dual bifurcation, mapping out an axis of tree and fish against an axis of power and sound. And in doing so, it creates a continuous triple-strip Möbius surface. It perfectly loops the clay of Adam and Yunus, the smoke of Mūsā, and the fire of Ibrahim into one unbroken surface. Physical matter and divine command merge right there. Finally, the 4th breath is exhaust. It expels the refined output, pushing us to strive as we should in 2278. Sealing the womb of purity and fulfilling the cycle to carry the Amanat home. Now for section 3, the fractal clock. Let's see how this engine keeps time.
Because this engine definitely doesn't use linear human time, it uses fractal time folding. Look at the cave companions from chapter 18. They prayed for mercy, asking for the timer to start, and ran this clock for exactly 309 years. Mathematically, the sources show this as 3 perfect folds of 103 years, flawlessly mirroring Surah Al-Asr, plus the 9, which is 3 squared. It is a brilliant system where time literally folds in on itself to calculate the exact exit point from the cave.
And this mechanism actually bifurcates time entirely, as we see in verse 259. You have sequential time, where physical things, like a man and a donkey, age naturally. But right alongside it, you have suspended time, where over the exact same span, the fruit remains perfectly unchanged and untouched. The physical reality decays sequentially, but the pure knowledge of the book remains flawlessly suspended. Which brings us to section 4, the ascension circuit, the hinge and the loop.
With this clock ticking, the engine requires a stable, unmoving center, so the rotational force doesn't just tear it all apart. Our source identifies Maryam at coordinate 342 as the absolute fixed hinge. She is the ground zero container state. She doesn't traverse the circuit. She is the pristine, sealed center that holds the spirit perfectly still while all the trials of the other figures orbit around her.
And from that fixed hinge, the ascension circuit builds outward. It links the raised prophets, Isa and Idris, pulling the energy straight through Yunus's tree. Then, it grounds all that energy straight back into the ultimate declaration of the first Muslim at 6163 and completes the chain at the first love in 6611. It's one continuous, unbroken spiritual circuit.
Section 5. The Closed Loop. Finding the Constant Home.
Right here in 754, the verse states, unquestionably His is the creation and the command. This compresses the whole cosmological stack into one frame. It tells us that creation, the physical deterministic stuff, and command, the indeterministic wave, are absolutely not competing forces. They are one single breath under one ownership. The loop flawlessly completes. To sustain that loop, it relies on an alternating current linking the individual scale to the grand scale. And the bridge between them is you, the reader. You are the living fulcrum, the T3 node, sitting right where the throne of action and the boundary of knowledge meet. You have to hold both the driver of action and the witness of knowledge simultaneously, keeping this three-phase four-stroke network perfectly balanced.
Finally, Section 6, Becoming the Book. This is the 1912 activation.
Everything we've discussed culminates in the ultimate execution node. The coordinate is 1912. This is the moment Yahya is commanded to take the book with strength. It's the mathematical reboot, the exact activation key of the universe that couples the wave of knowledge directly into the physical world. When that key is turned, the reader locks into a perfect triple-state symmetry. You ignite three realities at once: belief, trusting the unseen; witness, observing the covenant; and submission, actively surrendering to the cosmic flow. It's a perfect three-way split of spiritual velocity. And right at that coordinate, you're faced with a choice. You can follow the path of the first kafir in 241, rejecting the grip, concealing the signal, and falling back on inherited delay. Or you can take the grip with absolute strength, step into the zero-gap prostration of the first Muslim at 6163, and completely surrender to the light. When you reach that pure state of submission, the engine does exactly what it was designed to do. The breath holds. That massive cosmic trust, the Amanat, is successfully navigated through the fields and delivered back to its cosmic home. This is 3846, Dhikr al-Dār, the remembrance of the abode. The loop completes.
So, I want to leave you with the ultimate question this cosmic engine manual presents. The engine is breathing, the tesseract is waiting, and the coordinate is right in front of you. When will you grip the text with strength? When will you become the book of becoming?